What if the reason you're exhausted isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you're working against your own body's natural rhythms? That's our topic today on the Two Marketing Moms podcast. I'm Kelly Callahan Poe, and today's episode is called Energy Over Effort with Joanna Zhang. Joanna is the founder of the Operations Genius and creator of the world's first fractional VA service. A global speaker and conscious leadership guide, she blends operational excellence with energy alignment to help founders lead with clarity, calm, and purpose. Welcome, Joanna.
Thank you, Kelly. Thanks for having me. I'll be grateful to share some insights with everybody today.
Yeah, so your focus is on this idea of energy alignment, making sure that you are aligning your mindset to your body's natural energy and vibration. So for me, I suppose that would mean that I don't want to do any deep thinking before 9 a.m. Is that what you mean, or can you clarify what you mean by your own body's natural alignment and energy?
Okay. First of all, I have to clarify one thing is when I talk about energy, is not on the brain. Because brain is very logical. We're using our mechanisms as evil part side to protect ourselves or guide ourselves with logical. But the energy I'm talking about is from here. It's most likely what we feel like intuition, inspiration, or creativity. Basically, just a feeling. So when I talk about energy over the effort, is we do things with a feeling over here. For example, we started to do something, right? And I suddenly you feel really drained and heavy over here. I feel so boring and it's so no energy. We all have those moments and those kind of tasks. I
Yeah.
believe everyone has it. That's what I mean. When we have that kind of feeling, we'll do it. Maybe you can dive deeper later on about how, but I just want to explain and clarify what does this energy mean? It's actually not here. No analyzing for failure.
Okay, well let's clarify then. So how do you take this idea of translating energy alignment and you bring it into business practices in terms of that are practical in terms of increasing your productivity and decision making?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So I used to work as a financial planner, which is very logical field. I used to be controlling freak and a planning maniac. My schedule was like this time I'll do this time I'll do this time. It is. And my calendar looks very colorful and fulfilled and make me feel really happy because I'm a Virgo, right? So, but the thing is that when I actually schedule that way, from calendar point of view, it looks so full on the rise. But when I literally do it, would not always go falling into that category. Sometimes it might be some distraction, sometimes I'm not feeling to do this. But then you can think as a joke. I was a financial planner. I love the interaction and collaboration with the clients. But whenever I write a final, I fall asleep. So that's something just killing myself.
Yeah.
I know I planned really well, that I've made a lot of efforts, tried so hard, but it's just the productivity is just not it. Since I had started awakening about 4 years ago, I started to tap into my heart more than my brain. Okay, so I started to respect my own feelings and understand what I need at the particular moment. I started to follow my heart flow to do things. Probably to still the same task, and I don't plan anymore. I used to, for example, this time I have to check my emails. But those time, a lot of time, I don't feel like to check emails. Then I don't check, right? Then I feel to myself, what do I feel like to do that? Okay, it's still those tasks. And now I have an inspirational period of, oh, I need to create something. Bang, bang, bang. It's very quick. What I found is when I go with my heart flow and when I'm higher energy vibration, I'm still persistent.
Yeah.
And I have a low moments. Those moments, my body and my mind are telling me having a rest. Even during the work days, I may have a power nap. So I stopped actually planning my day like before, like a widget. I started to go with my body and energy flow to work on my day. And surprisingly, I have a lot of extra time coming out. Interesting.
So how do you know when you're operating against your own natural energy flow?
It's a very good question. First of all, feeling that in light. And then feel this struggle and sometimes stuck. And the energy and the emotion getting be frustrated, boring, and I feel I had to do it. That kind of attitude. Oh, I'll do it anyway. That kind of feelings. So when you have those kind of symptoms, probably means that you're against the body or mind energy flow. Because there are those tasks I hate to do, but I have to do. Right? I all have those moments. But I have at this moment in the day as well to do those things. It's not about a plan. It's about the flow. Hope you understand. Yeah. Yeah. So I do when as I mentioned earlier, when I'm in the higher vibration, energy vibration, I can do things like this.
Yeah.
We recognize our own emotional flow as well. Because when we're in a very caring, loving, supporting, understanding, happy, joyful state, we can do things like this. But sometimes our emotion gets triggered by something. Probably there's time for us to dive into to learn some lessons. Those are the that cycle, we call it, in the energy field. Oh, our body needs a rest. Just let it rest. So don't push ourselves so hard. Like, yeah, so just rest. And we find out after we rest about 15 minutes, half an hour, we get up, we switch up, bing, we can do things again. That's what I mean, yeah. But that's one thing about our personal growth. Another thing is to really focus on our genius. And that the concept behind our business is to operations genius side. Delegate the part you're really not good at and you don't like to do.
So let's repeat that. You say that you focus on your operational genius, which is that thing that you do better than anybody else, correct?
Okay, about that, that's a really good question because I personally experienced a exercise. Everybody can do that as well. Imagine there is a piece of paper. You can draw 4 circles, one outside each other. But there's 4 layers. On the external layer, we call it incompetence. You can think about anything about your work, your life, anything, cooking, whatever, cleaning, whatever. Incompetence is something that you don't like to do and you're not good at it.
Yeah.
For example, for me, IT, straight away, I'm not tech savvy. I don't like it and I'm not good at it. And then the second layer is competence. It's something like I can do it well, but I don't love that dearly. Give example, when I did exercise 8 years ago, I find out my profession financial planning lays in that layer, which means I can do it well, but I don't love that dearly. Something's missing there. Okay. That's why actually triggered me to think of that's not the profession I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. That's made me such a thing. Then the third layer is excellence. Excellence is something that we love to do and we can do it really well. So that part is effortlessly we can do like this. Okay. And the last but not the least is the genius part. Genius part is like our uniquely different in this world. No one else can replace. For us, it's just so effortlessly just us. Okay. So ideally, if we can delegate from the external layer by layer, and at the end we focus on our genius, that's the ideal state. But that's a journey. We've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
From incompetence, competence, excellence, genius.
So, since you have mastered this concept, what percentage of your day are you focused on your operational genius versus your other tasks?
Wow. I would say 85% on genius now. Yeah, because
And how long does it take you to get to 85%?
You mean how many years?
Yeah, I mean, how long does it? Because you have to figure out what's a better way of getting these other things accomplished. They still have to get done, right?
Yeah.
And you either have to pay them to do them, or figure out how to do them yourself more efficiently.
See, when I started my business about 8 years ago, I was a financial planner. I started to work with the different VAs. I have my journey as well by working with them. I started to delegate in the competence part. And then competence part, incompetence like for example, my IT marketing, I'm not good at it. I don't want to do it. Let them do it. But at that time, I was still a project manager. Project manager, I can say is my competence. I can do it. I can do it well, but I don't want it anymore. So I recently actually delegated the project management to someone else as well. And as the excellent part, I would say probably as collaboration, building the trust with clients, helping them to find the solutions. I'm still doing part of it. Okay. So I can collaborate with the team now too. That's why I'm saying 85% of it, still 25% I'm still dragging in that area. Essence, the genius part, it is just as myself, as the present source creator for this world, uh, being myself to deliver the gifts as a helping team members to grow. I'm doing that because I'm leading my team to grow day in, day out. So that's a journey though. That was past 8 years. You can think about the time I read them. Everyone has a different journey, but I think start somewhere is better than leaning there and feeling frustrated and stuff. Yeah.
So is that your theory that if and when you are actually operating the majority of your time under your operational genius, that you're able to more to lead with more clarity, with calm and purpose?
100%. Because when we say follow energy, how we can lay into those moments with joy, peaceful, calmness, assertiveness, is when we actually gradually layer out the other parts, which is draining our energy, so we can actually stay in the high state. So that's the exercise or layer by layer going into our genius zone to keep the high state.
That's a challenge for people who have children and partners and and other parts of your life to work with, right?
I know. I've got two kids as well. And I think that position part of the exercise, I think every mom can do that too. With the partners, a certain area of the kids. I found a common symptom even when in the early years when my kids were young. Even my mom was young. I had experience of I prioritize them first, and I'm always the last.
Of course. All women do.
Yeah. After my spiritual awakening about 4 years ago, I realized my priority is draining my energy. Because what happened is we all have a cup of water, right? And then we give all the water to the others. At the end, it's empty. Of course, we're feeling frustrated and tired and drained. But now I actually reverse the priority. It doesn't mean I don't care about them, but the first person I should care is myself. For example, if I do something with my kids, with my partner, I I used to think, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, I got myself, what do I want? But now I ask them what do they want, but I also ask myself. Okay. So if the options align with my options, we can find a win-win solution for everybody. But I need to fulfill my own needs from now on because in that state I'll be happy. Otherwise, everybody else is happy. I'm drained. And I can't really love them with that full capacity. So that's what I've learned. The spiritual work actually helped me to really focus on myself first and love myself. But once again, I had a misconception about selfishness and self-love. Right? I thought, oh, if I think about myself, I'm going to be selfish. But that's totally two different ideas. Selfish is something good for me only, but it's harmful for others. But self-love is that something is good for me, for this person, for this world. It's like a win-win-win. So it's totally different. I hope from now on, every mom can, like your podcast. I believe your audience are all moms. Yeah, hold on, moms. We can think about filling our own cup first. Because since I do that, I found out I have to email with visualize because before I was like a nut, fighting on the field. And at night, my heart is broken and I'm still with tears. I was like that. I look very strong and resilient, but I'm so empty inside and draining, so tired. But now, after I reverse my priority, I vision another picture is that I have a box like unlimited possibility. All the energies and happiness is popping out because I'm feeling my own purpose. And I'm like sharing it, very light, flying around it, and sharing this love of light. So that's totally two different kind of state. With that, fulfill the state, it's endless energy we can share with others. Otherwise, we will be burned out for sure. Mhm.
So, for those of us who are feeling overwhelmed, what are the steps that we can take to create more alignment and reduce stress in our careers?
Hmm. Logically, maybe you can try the exercise. Really put out the things you're incompetent with. Maybe start from there. Either delegate to others or find some suitable divine timing to do those things. Not pushing ourselves to do certain things. And then layer by layer, we will go to the hard zone and hard flow to do that. Another thing, one is logically, the other side is can be intuitively, right? Respect more about our own feelings and our own needs because we're so used to look after others and forgot the most important person. Yeah. So, and I found if a lot of time we don't have enough understanding, support, patience, acceptance for ourselves, we can't really truly give to the other people. It's just on the surface layer, we're doing that for people pleasing or whatever feeling, but it's not in the big truth that we're doing that. So I think let's do all those things for ourselves first, then we can truly give the things out. Mm-hmm.
Are there any other thoughts that you have that might help people focus on energy over effort in their professional lives?
Mm, I think it's about balance. Because as a human being, if you believe we are spiritual being as well, we have both energy within ourselves, like masculine energy and feminine energies. And a lot of times, when we had a session the other day with our spiritual mentor, we find out majority of women, we actually act default on masculine energy. Especially we are in the work or maybe protecting our kids as a mom, we are there to support, right? Because that masculine energy is out there to protect, to provide.
Yeah.
But we forgot something very important within us is those feminine energy that to simply accept and go with the flow. I'm still practicing it because of many, many years I default as masculine. I'll give you an example. My son is nearly 18 years old, 18 years old now. The other day, there was raining. And then he would park the car, he's 50 meters away. And then he said, Mom, let me run over there and drive the car over here so you don't get, rain. Imagine what I said. How about I run with you? You know, I
Yeah.
said that. I realized, oh, because I used to act that way. It's my boy. I got to protect him. I used to do that for him.
Yeah.
But now he's grown up. He's trying to protect me. Why don't I accept? That's the feminine energy. We got to learn to accept. And I need to look after the others, on the table. Oh, eat this, eat this. And if someone give me, I'm like, why? But now I started to accept my feminine energy. I started to, okay, thank you. Just accept. Actually be thankful for it. And also, there's one thing I want to share with every woman. I actually divorced, right? One of the mistakes I had was that my spiritual mentor reminded me was that because I used to be in a masculine energy, I used to be the provider. So when my ex-partner provides something to me, I wasn't happy because I wasn't in the feminine acceptance. So it's very hard for a man to make me happy. But for a man, their main probably the fulfillment is coming. I make this woman happy. So
Yeah.
that was one of my big mistakes in the previous relationship because I acted on the masculine energy. I didn't in acceptance mode. So we apply that into our work as well. If we balance both energies, when we need to make decisions, when we need to take action to make certain things done, then we use that. But for sometimes if you don't feel right and our body needs a rest, Let's embrace our feminine and allow us to rest. Allow us to go with the feeling that when we feel like to do something, we go with that flow. So if we can balance both act right, well, life with a balance. So we can do things balanced in all aspects. That's what I would do.
Well, with that, I think I need a nap.
Right. This happened up.
Thanks for
Thank you.
joining me today, Joanna. I appreciate it. You can find Joanna's contact information and listen and watch this episode on twomarketingmoms.com. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.